Another matter we keep across, or try to at least on this programme, is the way people are choosing to get from A to B, planet in crisis, and filling up your car. But what about filling up your electric car? It's still cheaper, of course, than filling up your petrol or diesel. In fact, each day it seems it's near £2 a litre. It's heading there, but nevertheless, the cost of charging the electric has risen as well with this energy crisis. Let's put some meat on the bones. Mark McCall is the co-founder of the Electric Vehicle Association of Northern Ireland, EVA&I, a non-profit community interest company. Mark, hiya.
Good afternoon, Mark.
Listen, so the nuts and bolts of it, Mark. Sometimes I think at the start a lot of chargers, or most of them, are still free in Northern Ireland, aren't they? The public ones anyway.
Yes, the ESB network, which is the vast majority of our chargers here, is still free. ESB had told us towards the end of last year that they would start to take payment for charging in the first half of this year. That's probably not looking likely at this point, but I think they are going to commit to do that in the second half of this year.
It's not that I'm complaining. It's a great gig if you have your car. But why have they forestalled charging all of this time? I mean, you'd have happily paid your £5, I assume, would you?
I think there are. It's an incentive, and maybe it was originally seen as an incentive, but I think we're long past the part where we need that now. Certainly, people need help with energy, and everyone's seeing huge increases across all types of energy at the moment. But the problem is that there's no business model probably for electric vehicle charge operators, which we need to get the OPEX as well as the CAPEX to talk about. We need somebody to maintain them.
Gotcha. Listen, I see prices are going up in the Republic. I mean, they've got they're vastly ahead of us when it comes to all of this stuff. Mark, give us your calculations of your own car. So for example, 6 months ago, you could have charged your car fully for how much, and how much today?
So I'm on a fixed rate at home, an overnight rate of 7.8p. I think if you're doing that, signing up today, you'll probably pay 12p for an overnight rate at home. That's the Economy 7 rate overnight. But even at 12p, you're talking about a little over 3 pence per mile. An 8,000 mile annual year at 12p for us will work out at £265 in total for the whole year.
God, it's still powerful. But look, can we talk about a fill? I can get my head around that. So, if you'd exhausted your car 6 months ago and stuck it in, how much would the fill cost you, and how much would the same fill cost you today?
Well, I think the article of the RAC published lately, they say electricity has gone up 21% in 9 months. From last September. So you're talking about a Nissan Leaf that we would have with a 100-mile range car, costing about £3.25 today to fill up for that 100 miles, and that would have been 21% less than that in September.
So 250, something like that.
Yeah, in that same period, electricity has risen 21%, petrol has risen 25%, and diesel has risen 30%. So, even at the most expensive public chargers, which this article was on, I think they talk about 44p per kilowatt hour for a rapid charger. You're still talking about 10p per mile versus 21p a mile for a similar size.
Well, a team member filled their motor this week in the Republic, €112. 18 months ago, Mark, that was 65. It's doubled in a year and a half. So, look, all of these roads are going the same way. But are you worried that this kind of a conversation is counterproductive in terms of the wider argument that you want to have, which is, folks, get out of your petrols and diesels?
Yes, I think, a lot of the headlines around this particular RAC press release were that electric vehicle charging costs have soared. But the headlines could have been electric car charging cost rises are the lowest available of all fuel types. So there is a certain amount of misinformation out there, and we'd like to get the...
No, you're absolutely right. It's the emphasis. Where do you put the emphasis on the story? Well, of course, electric charging's gone up, but it's gone up comparatively much less than petrol diesel, which is only probably going to get worse.
Exactly, and I think it highlights another problem, Mark, which is this whole issue around people without off-street parking. And I think this is where this article was originally trying to get to. At the moment, you're charged 20% VAT on public charging, whereas if you're able to charge at home, like I can, you're only charged 5% VAT. So there's an imbalance there. But
you're still glad you got the electric?
Absolutely, but Quentin Wilson's founded this Fair Charge campaign, which is calling for this 20% VAT to be reduced then at public chargers, and we would certainly back that.
Well, there you go. Where's it going, Mark? And I know you've the vested interest of your state of concern and all the rest. I still haven't taken the jump, but I will do one day. And as I said, I'm waiting for that Father Ted milk float to come around that can do 45 mile an hour and 200 mile with 2 seats at the front and able to throw, spuds in the back.
We're getting there.
Where are those vehicles? I think it's going to get, Mark, honestly, that cars are going to be, things about cars all our lives have been, look at the fancy car and the fancy this and the fancy that. I think cars are going to become like plastic bags. They do a job. I just want a thing that works. I don't care what it looks like, as long as it's not damaging the planet,
There are plenty of cars out there for car enthusiasts too, I would say, but to many people it is an appliance, and ultimately, where does that end up? That ends up in mobility as a service, where you may have a subscription on your smartphone and you might just summon a car at some point. But growth accelerated in Northern Ireland. We more than doubled the EVs last year. We're at about 8,500 plug-in vehicles in Northern Ireland.
How many percent is that of the fleet?
So it's about 0.8% of the entire.
Well, that's starting to become notable. Do you know what I think they should make people do? And I know it's a bit granny state, Mark, but I want to see how many people out there are driving electric vehicles, and you can't tell because you're going, is there a petrol thing? You should have an E on the reg to go, God, there's an electric. Oh, there's an electric. There's an electric. It would change our thinking, knowing that our fellow drivers had made the transition that we haven't.
You'll see the green slash on number plates now. So not every EV has that, but most EVs now have a green sticker on the number plate. So
didn't know that.
Can't tell them.
So where do you look, Colin? On the left of the number?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So the wee green dot you're saying on the left is an electric?
Yeah, a little green box on the left. Yep.
Well, every day's a school day. So we didn't know that, and now we'll all be looking for it, and I most certainly will, and then I'll be guiltified and faced with the issue every day in a way that I'm not now, because I can't tell who's electric, but that's helpful. Yep. I like interviews like that, Mark, because we learn stuff. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, we will touch base again down the road, if you don't mind the pun. Thank you for that, Mark. Mark is saying, look, of course electric's gone up for the electric cars, but it's not as bad as petrol and diesel anyway. Mark McCall there, co-founder of the Electric Vehicle Association of Northern Ireland. Caller says, I worked in the Merchant Navy. If you're just joining us, Martin Mullen has been describing how he's